Namaste. Today I'm going to read another chapter of the Book of Secrets, which is Osho's commentary on the Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. Vigyan means consciousness, Bhairav means going beyond, and Tantra can be translated by method. Another translation of Tantra is weaving. So you can imagine to weave meditation together with wisdom, or to weave method together with wisdom, or to weave meditation together with love. So many translations of Tantra. So we have here the translation of method. So if you translate Vigyan Bhairav Tantra in this way, it means a method to go beyond consciousness. And actually it's like I've many times mentioned in the other chapters, it's like Devi sitting on the lap of Shiva, her consort, her husband or lover or whatever you want to call it, and she's asking questions. And the sutras or the methods, they are very small sentences, are the answers of Shiva to Devi's question, which reveals also a very deep secret of life, that the deeper meanings of life can only be concealed in a love relationship, between disciple and master. If there is no love between disciple and master, the transmission cannot be done, and the deeper secrets cannot be concealed. It's very important to understand, because otherwise you will understand the Vigyan Bhairav Tantra only intellectually, but you can't use it in the rightful way, because somehow the excess is missing, because love is missing, or wisdom, or whatever you want to call it. So this is one basic ingredient, let's say like this, to work with the Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. So now I want to read another chapter. It is chapter 29. It is called Watch from the Hill, and it has only 2 sutras. So the sutras, 86. Suppose you contemplate something beyond perception, beyond grasping, beyond not being, you. 87. I am existing, this is mine, this is this. O beloved, even in such know illimitably. So now I'm going to read Technique 86 or Sutra 86 and Osho's explanation for it. 86. Imagine the unimaginable. Suppose you contemplate something beyond perception, beyond grasping, beyond not being, you. And this discourse was done on the 13th of June 1973 p.m. in Bombay, India. Suppose you contemplate something beyond perception, that which cannot be seen, which cannot be perceived. But can you imagine something which cannot be seen? Imagination is always of that which can be seen. How can you imagine something? How can you suppose something which cannot be perceived? It is impossible, but that's why it is worth doing, because in the very effort something will happen to you. Not that you will become capable of perceiving. If you try to perceive something which cannot be perceived, all perception will be lost. In the very effort, if you try to see something which you have never seen, all that you have ever seen will disappear. If you persist in the effort, many images will come to you. You have to discard them, because you know that you have seen this. This can be perceived. You may not have seen it actually as it is, but even if you can imagine it, it can be perceived. Discard it. Go on discarding. This technique says to persist for that which cannot be perceived. What will happen? If you go on discarding, it is going to be an arduous effort because many images will bubble up. Your mind will supply many images, many dreams, many conceptions will come, many symbols. Your mind will create now combinations, but go on discarding unless something happens which cannot be perceived. What is that? If you go on discarding, nothing will happen to you as an object. Only the screen of the mind will be there with no image, with no symbol, with no dream on it, no picture on it. In that moment, a metamorphosis happens. When the screen is simply there without any image, you become aware of yourself. You become aware of the perceiver. When there is nothing to be perceived, the whole attention changes. The whole consciousness reflects back. When you have nothing to see, for the first time you become aware of your own self. You start seeing yourself. Then you happen to yourself. For the first time you will become aware of the one who has been perceiving, who has been grasping, who has been knowing. But this subject is always hidden in objects. You know certain things, but you never know the knower. The knower is lost in knowledge. I see you, then I see someone else, and this procession goes on. From birth to death I will see this and that, and I will go on seeing and seeing. And the seer, the one who was seeing this procession, is forgotten. It is lost in the crowd. The crowd is of objects and the subject is lost. The sutra says if you try to contemplate something beyond perception, beyond grasping, which you cannot grasp by the mind, beyond not being, immediately the mind will say that if there is something which cannot be seen and cannot be grasped, it is not. The mind will immediately react that if something is not seeable, not perceivable, not graspable, then it is not. The mind will say that it doesn't exist. Don't become a victim of the mind. This sutra says beyond perception, beyond grasping, beyond not being. The mind will say that this is nothing, this cannot exist, this is a not being. The sutra says don't believe in it. There is something which is being beyond not being, which exists and which cannot be perceived and which is not graspable. That is you. This awareness is a different type of knowing. This awareness gives you a different dimension of existence. You are not divided in two. You are aware of yourself. You are not perceiving, you cannot grasp it, and yet it is existential, the most existential. Try to think in this way. We have energy. That energy goes on moving to objects. Energy cannot be static. Remember, it is one of the ultimate laws. Energy cannot be static, it is dynamic. It cannot be otherwise. Dynamism is its very nature. Energy moves. When I see you, my energy moves towards you. When I perceive you, a circle is made. My energy moves to you, then it comes back to me, a circle is made. If my energy moves to you and doesn't come back, I will not know you. A circle is needed. The energy must go and then come back to me. With its coming back, it brings you to me. I know you. Knowledge means that energy has made a circle. It has moved from the subject to the object, and then it has moved again and come back to the original source. If I go on living in this way, making circles with others, I will never know myself because my energy is filled with energy of others. It brings those images, it delivers those images to me. This is how you gather knowledge. This technique says to allow the object to disappear from there. Allow your energy to move in a vacuum, in emptiness. It goes from you, but there is no object to be grasped by it, not object to be perceived by it. It moves and comes back to you through emptiness. There is no object. It brings no knowledge to you. It comes vacant, empty, pure. It brings nothing. It brings only itself. It comes virgin. Nothing has entered into it. It remains pure. This is the whole process of meditation. You are sitting silently, your energy is moving, there is no object with which it can be contaminated, with which it can become entangled, with which it can become impressed, with which it can become one. Then you bring it back to yourself. There is no object, no thought, no image. Energy moves. The movement is pure, and then it comes back to you, virgin. As it left you, it comes. It carries nothing. An empty vehicle, it comes to you, it hits you. There is no knowledge carried by it. It is coming only by itself. In that penetration of pure energy, you become aware of yourself. If your energy is bringing something else, then you will become aware of that something. You look at a flower. The energy is bringing the flower to you. The image of the flower, the smell of the flower, the color of the flower. The energy is bringing the flower to you. It is introducing you to the flower. Then you become acquainted with the flower. The energy is covered by the flower. You never become acquainted with the energy, the pure energy which is you. You are moving to the other and coming back to the source. If there is nothing to impress it, if it comes unconditioned, if it comes as it had gone, if it brings itself nothing else, you become aware of yourself. This is a pure circle of energy, energy moving not to something else, but within you, creating a circle within you. Then there is no one else, only you moving within yourself. This movement becomes self-knowledge, self-illumination. Basically, all meditation techniques, all of them, are different variations of this. This sutra is one of the foundational ones. Try it. It is arduous because the habit of thinking, the habit of clinging to objects, to that which can be perceived and that which can be grasped, is so deep-rooted, so ingrained, that it will take time and a very persistent effort not to be involved in objects, not to be involved in thoughts, but to just become a witness and discard them and say, no, not this, not this. The whole technique of the Upanishads is condensed in 2 words, neti, neti. Not this, not this. Whatsoever comes to the mind, say, not this. Go on saying and discarding and throwing all the furniture out. The room has to be empty, totally empty. When emptiness is there, then that happens. If something else is there, you go on being impressed by it and you cannot know yourself. Your innocence is lost in objects. A thought-ridden mind is moving outwards. You cannot be related to yourself. That was all about Technique 86. Now I'm going to read Technique 87 or Sutra 87. It's a little bit longer. I will read that. 87. Feel I am. I am existing. This is mine. This is this. O beloved, even in such no illimitably. I am existing. You never enter deeply into this feeling, I am existing. You are existing, but you never dig deep into this phenomenon. Shiva says, I am existing, this is mine, this is this. O beloved, even in such no illimitably. Go deep into this feeling, just sitting, go deep into this feeling, I am existing, I am. Feel it, don't think it. Because you can say it in the mind, I am, and it is futile. Your head is your undoing. Don't go on repeating in the head, I am existing. It is futile, it is useless, you miss the point. Feel it deep down in your bones. Feel it all over your body. Feel it as a total unit, not in the head. Just feel it, I am. Don't use the words I am, because I am relating to you. I am using the words I am, and Shiva was relating to Parvati, so we had to use the words I am existing. Don't go on repeating. This is not a mantra. You are not to repeat I am existing, I am existing. If you repeat this, you will fall asleep, you will become self-hypnotized. So don't make it a mantra and sitting don't say I am existing. There is no need. Everyone knows and you know already that you are existing. There is no need. It is futile. Feel it. I am existing. Feeling is a different thing. Totally different. Thinking is a trick to escape from feeling. It is not only different, it is a deception. What do I mean when I say to feel I am existing? I am sitting in this chair. If I start feeling I am existing, I will become aware of many things. The pressure on the chair, the touch of the velvet, of the air passing through the room, the noise touching my body, the blood circulating silently, the heart, the breathing that goes on continuously, and the subtle vibrating feeling of the body. Because the body is a dynamism, it is not a static thing. You are vibrating. Continuously there is a subtle trembling, and while you are alive it will continue. The trembling is there. You will become aware of all these multidimensional things. And the more you become aware of the many things that are happening, if right now you become aware of whatsoever is happening within you and without, this is what is meant by I am existing. If you become aware in this way, thinking will stop. Because when you feel you are existing, it is such a total phenomenon that thinking cannot continue. In the beginning you will feel thoughts floating by and by. The more you get rooted in existence, the more and more you settle down in the feeling of being, the thoughts will be far away. You will feel a distance, as if those thoughts are not now happening to you, but they are happening to someone else, very, very far away. There is a distance. And then when you are really rooted, grounded in the being, mind will disappear. You will be there with not a single word, not a single mental image. Why does this happen? Because mind is a particular activity for relating with others. If I am to relate with you, I will have to use my mind, language, words. It is a social phenomenon. It is a group activity. So even if you are talking while alone, you are not alone. You are talking to someone. Even when you are alone, when you are talking to someone. You are not alone. How can you talk alone? Someone is present in the mind and you are talking to him. When you get grounded within yourself, there is no society, there is no one. You alone exist. Mind disappears. You are not relating to anyone, not even in imagination, so mind disappears. You are there without the mind, and this is what meditation is. Being without the mind. Being perfectly alert and conscious, not unconscious, feeling existence in its totality, in its multidimensionality, but the mind has suddenly disappeared. All that is labeled on you suddenly is not there. You are in your pristine purity. In your total innocence, you are there. In your virginity, grounded, not floating, rooted in that which is. I am existing. Try it. And you can do it anywhere. Just riding in a bus or traveling in a train or just sitting or lying down on your bed. Try to feel existence as it is. Don't think about it. Suddenly you will become aware that you have not known many things which are continuously happening to you, and you have not felt your body. You have your hands, but you have not ever felt it, what it says and what it continuously goes on informing you how it feels. Sometimes it is heavy and sad, sometimes it is happy and light. Sometimes everything flows in it, sometimes everything is dead. Sometimes you feel it alive, dancing, sometimes as if there is no life in it, frozen, dead, hanging on you, but not alive. When you start feeling your being, you will come to know the moods of your hands, of your eyes, of your nose, of your body. It is a big phenomenon. There are subtle nuances. The body goes on telling you, and you are not there to hear it. And existence all around you goes on penetrating you in subtle ways, in many ways, in different ways, but you are not aware. You are not there to receive it, to welcome it. When you start feeling existence, the whole world becomes alive to you in a totally new way. You have not known it. Then you pass through the same street, and the street is not the same, because now you are grounded in existence. You meet the same friends, but they are not the same, because you are different. You come back to your house, and the wife you have lived with for years is not the same. Now you are aware of your own being, you become aware of the other's being. When the wife becomes angry, you can enjoy even her anger, because now you can feel what is happening. And if you can feel it, anger may not look like anger, it may become love. If you can feel it deep down, then anger shows that she still loves you. This sutra will give you a maximum of existence. Thought can give you only a minimum. Feeling can give you the maximum. Through mind there is no way to existence. Through heart is the only way. I am existing. Feel it through the heart and feel this existence is mine. This is mine. This is this. This is a very beautiful I am existing. Feel it, be grounded in it, then know this is mine. This existence, this overflowing being is mine. You go on saying that this house is mine, this furniture is mine. You go on talking about your possessions, and you never know what you really possess. You possess total being. You possess the deepest possibility, the centermost core of existence in you. Shiva says, I am existing. Feel this. This is mine. This too is not to be made a thought. Remember that continuously. Feel it. This is mine. This existence, and then you will feel gratitude. How can you thank God? Your thankfulness is superficial, formal. And look what a misery. Even with God we are formal. How can you be grateful? You have not known anything to be grateful for. If you can feel yourself rooted in existence, merged in it, overflowing with it, and allow even dancing with it, then you will feel this is mine. This existence belongs to me. This whole mysterious universe belongs to me. This whole existence has been existing for me. It has created me. I am a flower of it. The consciousness that has happened to you is the greatest flower that has happened to the universe. And for millions and millions of years, this earth was preparing for you to exist. This is mine and this is this. To feel, this is what life is, this is this suchness. I was unnecessarily worried. I was unnecessarily a beggar, unnecessarily thinking in terms of begging. I am the master. When you are rooted, you are one with the whole, and the existence exists for you. You are not a beggar. You become an emperor suddenly. This is this. O beloved, even in such know illimitably. And while feeling this, don't create a limit to it. Feel it illimitably. Don't create a boundary to it. There is none. It ends nowhere. The world begins nowhere. The world ends nowhere. Existence has no beginning and no end. You also don't have any beginning. You also don't have any end. If in deep meditation, in such meditation, you can come to feel existence, then there is no mind. A beginningless, endless flow of energy, of cosmic force, an infinite ocean around you, and you are just a wave in it. The wave has a beginning and an end. The ocean has none. And once you know that you are not a wave but the ocean, all misery has disappeared. If you move deep in meditation, it will happen. Fear will disappear because you know yourself endlessly. You go on spreading endlessly back into the past, forward in the future, and this very moment, this present moment, in the depths of it, you are there. You simply are. You never begin, you are never going to end. Feel this illimitably, infinitely. So this is a very, very beautiful meditation. And no beginning, no end. Very beautiful. So this is the end of chapter 29. I hope you enjoyed it. And I wish you a wonderful, nice and pleasant day. Bye-bye. Namaste.